Warren. Jaylen Warren rips through for the touchdown.
Welcome back to 5-Star Matchup. Friendly reminder, it's more important than ever that you support the show over on patreon.com/5SMU. YouTube has taken it upon themselves to remove all monetization on this channel. If you ever see a single ad here on YouTube, we are not making a penny off of it. Join on Patreon and you get access to our private Discord server, your name in the credits, and a free gift. As soon as I get some more stamps. Speaking of stamps, Mike Tomlin's ugly duckling Steelers find themselves with a chance to put theirs on this season here in Week 10. At 5-3, but being outgained literally every single week, the difference between a tail between their legs 5-4 and a triumphant 6-3 is dramatic. Do they have what it takes? Obligatory aesthetic note, but behold the glory that is the Steelers' block number throwbacks matched up with the Packers' away jerseys. It does not get any more football in November than this. Start this one with a toad up the gut like always for the Najee man, and this would be a theme of the day. The Steelers stayed ahead of down and distance for much of the day due to their suddenly burgeoning ground game. 2nd and 5 in the Canada Pickett special with a little flip outside to the man with the squeaky clean Insta, George Pickens, and the Steelers are on the move early. Again? Another huge run for Najee sets up a 3rd and short, and instead of playing conservative like Booth Canada, Sideline Canada tells him to chuck that son deep, and deep he does, drawing a field-flipping PI on the Packers' short-handed secondary. Hi, I'm Jaylen Warren, and I like long walks in the red zone. The electric bowling ball himself rolls a strike the dude himself couldn't have thrown better, and you better break out that black and gold question mark suit, because for the second straight opening series, the Steelers are entering the business zone? Low snap, no problem as long as you've got Pickett shield. Former All-State, I'm assuming, shortstop Kenny Pickett scoops this one off the turf and gets it to his man again, Big J, who turns a nothing into a little something. Najee sings "Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better" as he takes the toad up the gut for an easy first, and on the very next play, he leisurely trollops through the Packers' poppy field of a defense for an easy opening drive touchdown. Don't look now, but Sideline Canada is officially becoming the Steelers' first folk hero since that dude who quacked. Steelers' run game continues to move in the right direction. Pittsburgh 7, Green Bay nothing. Over to the Packers' sluggish offense, which has shockingly been almost more slow starting than the Steelers, and it's a great run stuff by the venerable duo of Big E and the Quanon-only Mr. Alexander, but on 3rd and 3, Jordan gets enough time to ponder the meaning of love, but instead chucks it complete for a gainer across midfield. 2nd and 7, and Love again gets enough time to prepare his famous candied yams, and good thing Wicks likes marshmallows because he sucks this one in for an easy first. Couple plays later, Jordan tries his best to throw a red zone pick. Don't worry, that time will come. Sadly, Quan goes out with what looks to be a serious injury, and on 3rd and long, Love drops a peach of a pass in the basket of Dobbs' bike for a silky smooth touchdown connection. Are you missing Minka yet? Honestly, just a great pitch and catch for the Packer pair. I can't even be mad. Is this going to be a shootout? Pack poll even, 7-all.
Yoink.
Green Bay shanks the kickoff out of bounds, and smelling blood in the water, Sideline Canada comes out dealin'. First, it's Kenny connecting with Mount Washington, followed by another tote for the slicin' and dicin' Jaylen Warren, and a Pittsburgh push to convert on 3rd. 1st and 10, and it's more of the smooth one-cut stylings of the pissed-off hamster that is Jaylen Warren, setting up an advantageous 2nd and 1.
Almost oops.
Kenny rolls and makes a completely unnecessarily risky throw to DJ that's very nearly picked, but DBs are DBs for a reason, and luckily they keep possession. No picks in 129 attempts. Say what you want about young Kenneth Shane, but hard to deny, the kid ain't turning it over. Sideline Canada this week in what I assume are $10,000 shades gazes upon his now excellent offense, and while he's in his bag, they flip it back to the sometimes derided but always available Najee man, who slices him like a hot knife through butter, and the Steelers are dominating on offense? Another toe for Harris cuts outside, but he's stopped by the president himself, Keshawn Nixon, who makes a great open field tackle to force another 3rd. Of course, a 3rd and 3 might as well be a 1st and 10 when you got that roly-poly-oly in the number 30 jersey, and yes, for the second time in as many drives, the Steelers are in the red zone, and no, you did not just have a stroke or mishear me. More staying aggressive here for the Canadian Army, and I, for one, love to see it. They can't connect, but a defensive holding grabs them a first and a few. In the first of a series of plays on this crisp, cool night where Jaylen Warren scoots into a pile and forces you to wonder just how in the hell he came out of the other side running full speed, the electric second-year back scuttles into the Acrisure end zone for the earth-shaking touchdown to put the Steelers right back in the lead. And would you look at the big block by Broad? Pete the Pitbull of a rookie getting to the second level of the D and helping to pave the path along with the crushing Sayamalu, and suddenly the Steelers are absolutely cooking on offense. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Sideline Canada is simply built different, brah. In other Gen Z news, what's the deal with this Christian Watson character? I thought he was supposed to be good. Keanu Neal had the homie shook. Nice return by the speedy Calvin Austin gives the Steelers great field position, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's time for the Steelers to build on their lead. 1st and 10, and you might as well get the gurney out already as Pickett goes down for one of those sacks, but wait, there's some laundry on the field. The sloppy Packers get hit with an illegal contact that keeps the drive alive. Najee gets them close to a first, but the sneak doesn't convert on 3rd, and in an early big moment, the typically conservative Mike T asks Matt Canada for whatever the best play he's got in his old silk safari hat is, and sure enough, he delivers. A little flip out to Warren gets it done, and the Steelers continue to ground and pound to their heart's content. Getting a little too fancy for his own good now, Pickett may dance, but he can't prance away from this D, and he goes down for the debilitating sack. Still, can't be mad after all, we started from the bottom and now we're here. Out trots the Boz, and wind be damned, you already know he's... Steelers in front by 10, 17-7. Great tackle from behind in pursuit by the greatest defender in all the land, but on 3rd and 1, it's a funky little flip out to the Packers' best player by a lot, Aaron Jones, who grabs the much needed first. Well, the Steelers might have a nice pair of backs themselves, but the Packers are no slouches in that department either, as Quadzilla, aka the Quadzadilla, aka AJ Don't Call Me Matt Dillon, scampers for a gigantic chunk that the Packers' languishing offense desperately needed. Couple plays later, and it's that man every Packers fan wishes they drafted in 2017, the local boy Trent Jordan Watt dragging down Love for his 10th and a half sack of the season. 2nd and 16, Jordan gets time, but he can't love this. His receiver drops what would have been a gain of 15, but I guess there's no reason to worry when on 3rd and a million, you can just chuck it wherever the hell Minkah Fitzpatrick would have been for a sickening score. Now see, this is the kind of stuff with the Steelers D. Yeah, they make splash plays, and yeah, they keep the team in games, but this just can't happen. If your specialty is going to be the pass rush, can't let a deep ball thrower have all day to pick and choose a target over your heads. Just not good enough early by the Steelers D, and it's threatening to waste the shocking start by the offense. Wonderfully, the extra point is blocked by the maligned Pat Pete, and keep your eye on the score as this play would loom extra large in this one. Another almost oops. Kenny P kinda sorta almost flips this one backwards for what would have been a game-wrecking fumble. Luckily it's too close to overturn though, and they avoid disaster for a second time. They go nowhere and give it back, however. Jones gets the pack across midfield, but they can't convert a 3rd and 3, and it goes right back to the Canadian Army. Backed in their own end, the Steelers again show a little faith in their young signal caller, who rips a smooth completion to the always open Deontay Johnson, who gets them moving and keeps the clock stopped. Whether or not he and the team are Instagram official, Georgie Porgy snags this one for another first, and the Steelers are officially shifting into second gear. Unfortunately, on 3rd and 2, they forget to hit the clutch. I don't know how to drive stick, but the point is they stall out and the Packers don't try anything, so we head already into the half with a stunning 4-point lead for the boys in the blocks. Hey there, I want to thank all of you again for what has been spectacular growth on our Patreon this season. I can't tell you enough how much of a difference it makes, and it almost single-handedly keeps the growth of this channel alive. If you've been on the fence a while, pause the video, open a new tab, and go to patreon.com/5SMU to sign up today. Now roll the game. We're back, and somehow even when the Steelers have their most successful first half of the season, I'm already pissed off 15 seconds into the second half. Faced immediately with a 3rd and 6, Love gets time and fires incomplete down the middle, and the Steelers get, of course there's a f***ing flag. What is it with these late flags the last few weeks? Pass interference gives the Pack a free first, and no, it's not deja vu, but another 3rd and 6 conversion attempt incomplete down the middle. But on 4th and 6, the gutsy and new school Matt LaFleur goes for it, and Love flings it to the backpedaling Jones for a crucial conversion. Couple plays later, and it's another 3rd down and another conversion to Jones out of the backfield, and clearly this was a matchup the Pack wanted to target, especially once Quan went out. Pack try another screen to Jones, but sadly for him, the hard-hitting law firm of Big E Roberts and Keanu Benton combined to make a running back sandwich, forcing another 3rd and long that's finally stopped. Packers pull within 1, but considering where this drive started, I guess you can't be mad at a field goal. We're midway through the 3rd at breakneck speed, and does the Steelers offense have what it takes to respond again? Hi, you've reached Matt Canada. The offense isn't home right now. Please leave a message after the beep. Fuck. Holding kills a drive before it even had developed object permanence, and it's right back over to the Packers offense. Nice pump by Press the Thick sets him up with a long field to go to work on, and go to work they do. Blue collar tote by Jones gets him moving, and on second it's another in a night of hilariously peaceful pockets for Jordan Love, who takes his time lofting another shot to the obscenely open Dobbs, who does the Tootsie Roll for a few extra at the end. Just had to put this one to show the great downfield coverage for Pat Pete, who after taking a lot of heat early in the season has now settled down nicely the last couple weeks. I thought he was maybe the single biggest difference maker on the field today. Who cares though, because on 3rd and 7, Love again shows off his laser arm as he rifles one down the middle, the likes of which I've rarely seen a Steelers quarterback even attempt in the last half a decade, and the Packers are fixing to take the lead. The only question is, by how much? Little receiver screen for Reed gets him a few on 1st, but the run goes backwards on 2nd, and on 3rd, Jordan fires in and out of the breadbasket of Musgrave, and the Packers are left to take the consolation kick and a meager 2-point lead. Packers 19, Steelers 17. Well, it might not be the 4th quarter yet, but number 8 in black is certainly thinking about winning. First play out of the gate, he gets time and fires a rope to his man, the ever-curious George, for a gigantic momentum-seizing play. Can't express enough how big this play was to get the Steelers moving again after Green Bay had usurped control. 3rd and 8, Jaylen grabs 5, but on 3rd, Kenny fires incomplete to that same number 30, but fear not, because it's time again to trust our fates to the ice-blooded, brass-balled kicker with the heart of gold. And you already know Boz is. Steelers take back the lead, 20-19. Time ticking under a minute to go in the 3rd, Love again finds himself with a ton of time to throw, but this time with no one to go to, and he chucks it out of bounds to save face. 3rd and 5, they come up an eyelash short, but a penalty knocks them back, with Tomlin electing to bet on the yards and not the down as we head into the 4th and final stanza. The terrible towels wave as the Acrisure crowd goes insane, and I just have to ask you, is there a better way to spend a November afternoon than this? Super genius Matt LaFleur, with his strong-armed quarterback who's been lighting up the Steelers on 3rd and 4th down all day, likes to go with a double pass trick play that's just a disaster from the start, and the Packers are forced to give it back to 4th quarter Kenny. Don't know what the hell they were thinking here personally, but as a Steeler fan, I'll take it with cream and sugar, please. Poised to continue adding to his sparkling 4th quarter resume, Pickett leads out the Canadian Army for what you just know is gonna be a crispy offensive series. It's got all the elements. 4th quarter Kenny and sideline Canada. Najee gets him moving with a productive tote, followed by a spectacular one on 2nd, and he damn near takes it to the house if it wasn't for that pesky safety. Yet again, the Steelers offense is responding when it's needed most. 2nd and 10, and again, I love to see the guts from the emblazoned sideline stationed OC, who elects to chuck it deep, and I suspect whatever I say on this play will be argued in the comments. So I'll just be honest, in my book, Deontay has got to make this play. Number 1 type guys come down with this. As much as I've come around on the guy, I do think moments like this tend to reinforce that he's just ever so slightly a notch below the elite. 3rd and 10, Kenny chucks a prayer, and unfortunately, the Steelers cannot add to their menial lead. Another nice punt by Press the Thick starts him inside the 10. You know, can I just say, I loved this game. Just a good old-fashioned football game. 2 teams trying to run the ball, play good defense. No controversy, really. Just a good, close football game. Where was I? 3rd and 2, Reed just barely gets a first, but on the next 3rd and long, Elijah Riley, I saw you hustling all day, big man, screams in to knock Love off his platform and force an errant throw to end the possession. Okay, now is the time for the 4th quarter Kenny drive, right? Well, I guess you don't really have to worry about your quarterback when you can run it like this, huh? Steelers' stellar ground game grabs another chunk, and that was obviously the story of this game, with Pittsburgh going over 2 Bills on the ground just as my man Big Broad predicted. Filed firmly under things you love to f***ing see. This is another of those plays that'll get lost in the shuffle, but check out where Jaylen is contacted. And he gets the first. Absolutely incredible stuff from the second-year man, whom I think we can stop using disclaimers with at this point. Doesn't matter where he was drafted, how many snaps he takes, Jaylen Warren is just a great running back, point blank. See? Time ticking under 6 now, the Steelers find themselves once again ensconced in the warm embrace of the business zone, but unfortunately for them, Najee is ruled short on another of his famous high jumps. Okay, I can see maybe he was short of the first, but not 2 full yards. Where the hell did that come from? And on 3rd, Pickett can't find anybody and chucks it safely incomplete. Promising drive stalls out, but as you already know, Boz is. And the Steelers' lead grows to 4 with 5 to go. All right, D, you know for once the offense has held its weight, and it's time for Jordan Love to hit another massive pass across midfield, and whatever happened to surviving the ground, is that not a rule anymore? Great blitz here by Cookie's favorite son, Chandon Sullivan, who bats down the pass as the crowd goes berserk. 3rd and 10 though, it's more of the same as Love gets all day to throw and hits yet another wide open man streaking through the Steelers' hapless secondary, and are we starting to understand just how much Minka masks yet? Time's a ticking and the Pack are intruding, and that sets up our
5-star
Play of the game.
Love lets it fly. End zone. Off the deflection, it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And the Steelers come up huge once again.
Desperate to score with the time ticking and frustration mounting, Jordan Love tosses an ill-advised predetermined pass to the left sideline that's tipped by the savvy veteran Pat Pete right to the waiting Keanu Neal for the game-changing interception. Steelers avert disaster and take over. Pittsburgh predictably gets the clock moving with a pair of runs for just a few on 1st and 2nd, but on 3rd and gotta have it, 4th quarter Kenny strikes again, this time with a dance and a prance out of the pocket and downfield for a monumental 11-yard scamper that forces the Pack to start taking their timeouts. Steelers force the run on the next 2 to deplete Green Bay's timeouts and the 2-minute warning, and on 3rd and 9 we get the exceedingly rare 2nd
5-star
Play of the game.
Run it, you get to milk the clock. You throw it, you could end the game. Pickett trying to end the game, and he does to Pickens.
Fuck. Well, I don't know how that rule's written. That's definitely the design of that play. I just think Calvin was maybe a little too obvious and the refs had to call it here. Pickett and Pickens had essentially ended this one, but you already know that's not how this script goes. The defense has to take over, almost let them score, and pick it off at the end, just like last week. And 80% of weeks since 2021. Decent punt by Press the Thick takes a little time off the clock, and the Pack take over with just about a minute left and no timeouts. And of fucking course, because I hate football and it sucks, Love again strikes deep, this time with pressure right in his face, and the Steelers give Green Bay literally the only thing they couldn't afford, a chunk play that takes no time at all and gets out of bounds. Just a disaster start for Tomlin's tired D. Steelers play conservative on defense, forcing a dump off to Jones, who cuts inside when he should cut outside. Tick, 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 tick. Love snaps it and scrambles instead of spiking. Tick, 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 tick. Clock ticks to 22 now. 3rd and 3, Highsmith oh so close to taking him down and all but ending the game, but Love gets rid of it to keep the Cheeseheads alive just a little longer. Down to their last play on 4th and 3, Love takes the easy conversion, but tick, 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 tick. They spike it with 3 seconds left, setting up one final play.
Better block 90 and 56.
One last chance for the Packers. Love throws, end zone, intercepted, and it's over.
Just like last week, it's a Steelers defender, this time DeMonte Casey, picking off the quarterback right at the goal line to put the exclamation point on yet another impressive Steelers win. Say it with me, Your Pittsburgh Steelers are 6-3. Well, somehow, some way, the Steelers were outgained for the 9th straight time to start this season, and they are winning 2 out of every 3 games. Say what you want about statistics like yardage or point differential, the Steelers, led by Mike Tomlin, Kenny Pickett, and yes, even Matt Canada, have found a formula that works for them. It's certainly not the prettiest, and it leaves almost no room for error, but I repeat, they're 6-3, and they just put up over 200 yards on the ground. Do I even care if Kenny Pickett finishes a full season with 2,600 yards if they win 11 games? Not really. At this point, they've leaned so hard into this style that it's actually started to look cohesive in its own way. While, like everyone, I was on the edge of my seat all game, I have to admit that my heart rate really wasn't that elevated during this one, because I genuinely felt confident that the Steelers would pull out the dub in the 4th quarter, like they almost always do. You can say the quarterback stinks, and you can say the defense sucks. You can say this is unsustainable, but the reality is, in their last 18 games, the Steelers are 13-5. No matter how you get there, that's pretty damn good. Tough road test next week against the Cleveland Brownies, but something tells me the Steelers will be able to massage out another victory. Here we go. And if you're still here, why aren't you subscribed to the Patreon yet? We're coming close to 100 members over there, which I have to admit is truly astounding. I could not be more appreciative of your guys' support as we fly through the 5th season of this show already. It's honestly a dream come true to get to do this for all y'all every week, and I can't wait to do it for the next 100 years. At least.